All right, you guys, so this video is about quadratic functions and some critical points. So you imagine, I really want you to try to put yourself in the situation and always think about like roller coasters. And the idea is that the function distance from y, like for this particular quadratic that goes like this, for example, let's say we're talking about a negative quadratic. Okay, a negative quadratic has a peak and then it goes down. That is called a maximum value because that's the furthest y ever gets from x. Okay, on the other hand, when there's a minimum, there's a function that does this, it curves down. Okay, there is a point where y has the least amount of value, meaning it's the furthest negative, and that's called a minimum. Okay, so we talked about zeros where it crosses the x-axis. We know y-intercepts where it crosses the, zeros where it crosses the x-axis, intercept, y-intercept where it crosses the y-axis. We're going to be talking about maxes and mins, okay, and figuring out how to do them. They're always going to be happening at the vertex. Okay, so the vertex is going to be a very important value, especially the y value of the vertex. So that's where we're going with this, and domain. And remember, if you can't remember which is x, think about a kingdom, your domain, you reign over your domain. You would never go domain, that makes no sense. So it's like the x domain always has to deal with the x. It's talking about where you can roam, okay? In your kingdom, you can roam anywhere. You can go back and forth, okay? That is the x domain. All right, I'm going to take myself off. Okay, and now, okay, let's take a look at this. All right, it says answer the questions below about the quadratic function. It says finding a max or min. Okay, really what you need to ask yourself is this cup up or cup down? Okay, A is positive, and since A is positive, we know that it goes cup up, which means it's going to have not a maximum, but rather a minimum. It's going to have a lower end. And I shouldn't put that line there. That's just marking the minimum. This could be the x-axis for all I know. Okay, it's just showing you that at this point, it's going to be a minimum. It's going to have a lowest point, you guys. So if you're thinking about this, I hope you understand this. Look, so like y is positive right here, and then it gets to be negative, 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 and then it's the furthest negative, and then less negative, and then now it gets into the positives again. Okay, so this is going to have a minimum. What is the function's minimum or maximum value? Do you guys see function's value? When I say function, you say why? Function, why? Function, why? Okay, the function's value is the y value, not the x value. Okay, I don't know what you need to do. Tattoo it on yourself so you can remember this. So what we need to do is find the vertex. So to find the vertex, we're going to go back to our h is equal to negative b over 2a. It's that simple. H is equal to negative 20 over 2 times 2. I think a is 2, right? Okay. Negative 10. Nope, wrong. It's negative 20 divided by 4, so the answer is negative 5. So now I found my x value. Okay, but we're not looking for the x value, we're looking for the y value. So we're going to plug it back in. We're going to find f of negative 5, if you will. So it's 2 times negative 5 squared plus 20 times negative 5. I highly recommend, if you have time, push yourself on multiplying this by hand. 25, 5 squared, negative 5 squared is 25. 2 times 25 is 50. 20 times negative 5 is negative 100. Plus 53. Add your positives and you're going to get 103. Minus 100 is equal to 3. All right, so what is the value? Okay, what is the minimum value? 3. Where does the minimum or maximum value occur? Now they're asking for x. Okay, when they're asking you for where does it occur, then that's going to be x. When they're asking you for the function's value, that is your y. Okay, next. Let's do another one. Okay, again, this is going to be cup up. So we're going to have a minimum. It's cup up because A is positive. Okay, what is the minimum value? We're going to go h is equal to negative of negative 12, the opposite of b, over 2a. So we get 12 over 4, or 3. Then we want to plug 3 in. So we're finding not f. Let's try g of 3. Let's try erasing that because that's ugly. Let's try control Zing that so it comes back to life. Come back. Come back, problem. Back, problem. Okay, never mind. Let's just put g of x here. Oh, you know what that might be? Let me see. Let me lock everything. Lock it all down. That might have been why that did that. Okay, maybe, maybe not. Come on. I don't know why it's doing that. Okay, g of x equals, well, we're going to plug in a 3 here. So g of 3 equals 2 times 3 squared minus 12 times 3 plus 17. I hope you guys are getting way used to plugging things in because you're going to get, it's so nice when you get used to it. It gets so easy. 17 plus 18 is 35. Minus 36 is negative 1. Okay, so that's k. G of x is equal to k. G of 3, I should say, is equal to negative 1. And that's so ugly, I need to rewrite it. Okay, so it's 3, negative 1 is the vertex. Okay, that's where it happens. What is the function's value? That's the y, negative 1. Where does it happen? X equals 3. Oh, look, they even gave you the little x this time. Okay, ooh, look at my perfect circle. Fixed it. All right, that's it. Next. Okay, max or min. Now take a look. A is negative in this case. So this is going to be a cup down, which means it is going to have a maximum value. And that maximum y value is going to happen right here at the vertex on top of here. Okay, so this is going to have a maximum. All right. Some people do this weird chart. I remember when my daughter went to school, her teacher gave her a chart about A is negative, cup up, cup down, and she would always refer to the chart. And I was like, it's so simple. If it's negative, it goes like this, therefore it has a max. I don't try to memorize anything if I can think it through. I don't have enough room in my brain to memorize all that stuff. So we're going to find the vertex. It's negative of negative 12 over 2 times negative 3. You are welcome to go list A, B, and C, by the way. And B is equal to negative 12 if you want. I just stopped doing it because I know it and I figured we've done it a lot by now. Okay, so we got 12 over negative 6, which is negative 2. Then we're going to go ahead and find K, and K is equal to, let me get back here. Okay, let's try not doing that. It's funny, I can't move this when I want, and it moves when I don't want it. I don't know what's going on. Okay, here we go. K is equal to G of negative 2, which is equal to negative 3 times negative 2 squared minus 12 times negative 2 minus 13. If you're having trouble keeping yourself straight, you might want to write the equation first. Also, negative 3 times 4 plus 24 minus 13, negative 12. Actually, you know what? Let's just jump to the end here. That's negative 12 minus 13 is negative 25 plus 4 is negative 1. So my vertex is at negative 2, negative 1. So where does the maximum occur? Notice they switched it up. We got really happy with the way that it was happening, but now they did where does it occur? That's your x value. They did put x there. Be careful. Alex likes to do that. It likes to switch up the order so you don't get real comfortable. Okay, what is the maximum value? Negative 1. Okay, next. Okay, now we're switching it up. Okay, now we're going to find the maximum and minimum from a word problem, meaning you got to think about it. So I'm going to tell you right away, unless you're on an ocean with like a submarine or something, usually these are always going to be cut down. They're usually like a ball that's thrown like, woo, it's a ball, it's a football, it's a baseball, it's a rocket. Doesn't matter. All these problems come with something that's being thrown, okay? And usually it's going to be our y is going to be h, and our x is going to be t. That's typically the way it's graphed, okay? So you can see that they put the height is determined by the time, and that equation is 76t minus 16t squared, okay? It says, what is the maximum height that the ball will reach? So we're looking right here, and we're looking not for time, but we're looking for the height. But how do you find it? You're going to have to use the vertex formula. So I'm going to go ahead and put, the x value, which is t. T is equal to negative b over 2a. I could actually put h. Let me put h, y'all. Negative b. Okay, let's name them this time. In this case, a is equal to negative 16, b is equal to 76, and c is equal to 0. Okay, that means that this graph started right here at 0, 0. Okay, and then it comes back here and it falls and it hits the ground at some point. Okay, later on we'll be trying to find these points. Okay, right now we're just going to try to find the height. So to find where that happens, they're going to find the vertex, HK. So negative 76 over 2 times negative 16, negative 76 over 32. All right, 32 times 32 is 64 times, okay, great. So this is a calculator problem. We need to actually use a calculator to do this and use decimals. Okay, use decimals. So when you do this, and I don't have a calculator handy, I think I'll just, you guys won't be able to see me, but I'm just going to do this real quick on Google. Negative 76 divided by 32. Negative, hey, okay, negative 76. Maybe it did. Divided by 32. What was that? Why did I put negative? 2.375. Okay. Wait, it's negative 32. I was like, that doesn't make any sense. Time can't be negative. Okay. Hello, I didn't do that. I didn't do that. I'm so tired of this thing doing that. Okay, so here we go. It's negative 32, and it was 2 point, what did I say? 375? Yep. 2, shut up. 2.375. All right, 2.375 is the time where it happens. After 2.375 seconds, that's where we get our highest height. So then you have to plug it back in. So you do use a calculator, and you will go K, let's just do K equals negative 76 times 2.375 minus 16 times 2.375 squared. Okay, and when you find that, you will get the height. Okay, so hang on a minute. A is negative 16. Okay, just checking. That's going to be negative and that's going to be negative, and that doesn't make any sense. It needs to be positive. What did I do wrong? Oh, I put positive 76. I need to put positive negative 76. For some reason, I put negative. I was like, that's going to be a negative number. That can't happen. Okay, so you're going to go put this in a calculator and you're going to get K. And that's how you're going to get the height. And that's the answer. Okay, it says do not round your answer, which I find interesting. Okay, I wish I had my calculator here. I did not realize for some reason, usually they make these really easy to do by hand. And so usually everything kind of divides easily, but it didn't this time. 76 is not divisible by 32. All right, so I do want to go do it. I think I'm going to do it. 0.375, 76 minus 16, 2.375. Okay, so see this, but Esmos.com, use that scientific calculator. It is a biggity. All right, so we're going to go 2.375, I think it was times 76, right? Minus 2.375 squared times, what was that? Times what? 16. Okay, 16. Boom. And we get 118.75. All right, so we didn't need to round off, okay? 118.75. So that's what you would put as your answer, okay? 118.75 feet. Is it feet? Feet, yep, feet. That's how high it went, okay? I hope that made sense. It's actually not that hard, it's just finding the vertex. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay. Again, max and min, a lot of times the max and min quadratic functions, the relationships between two variables have a quadratic relationship. So in here it says a medical equipment industry manufactures x-ray machines. The unit cost, C, I love it when they define the variables. It's the cost in dollars to make each x-ray machine depends on the number of machines made. X is the number of machines made. Okay, then the unit cost is given. And then this is a lot like the SAT, you guys. It just gives you an equation and you have to plug stuff in. Okay, how many machines must be made to minimize the unit cost? Okay, so what we're looking for, okay, what we're looking for here is the minimum of this function. You can see that it's positive. Okay, so it's cup up. And we're going to be looking for the y value of the vertex, xy here, or hk, and we're going to be looking for this value. Okay, so again, it's negative b over 2a is going to be your h. Hopefully you've memorized that by now. It's going to be, just a sec. Oh, sorry. I have to do this in a sec. Okay, hang on. Okay, negative b. So I guess we probably should name our a, b, and c. Do that. Oh my God, I'm gonna kill. Okay, a is equal to 0.1, b is equal to negative 50, and c is equal to who cares? Because we don't care anyway. Wow, guys. I don't know what I'm doing with the pen. I can't imitate it. It only happens when I'm talking on a video. It is the weirdest thing ever. It's possessed. I have a possessed computer or tablet. All right, so it's negative of negative 50 over 2 times 0.1. Okay, and that will give you 50 over 0.2. Okay, and that's a lot. 50 divided by 0.2, it's like saying you have 50 bucks and you're dividing it by 20 cents, right? So move it over. It's 2 into 500. 2 goes into 5 twice. You get 4. 1, bring it down. 250. 250. Okay. 250. That is your H. Okay, and then you're going to have to go back in and find C of 250, which means it's 0.1 times 250, oh my goodness, squared, minus 50 times 250, plus 13,642. So you can see why this is a calculator problem. And I'm going to let you finish this, okay? I just want to make sure you know how to set it up, and that's what you're looking for. Next one. Oops. Try this. Let's get this here, and then, okay, domain and range. All right. Domain and range. Domain is your x, and your range is your y. It says the graph of the quadratic function is shown in the figure below. Okay. vertex is 0, 1. Find the range in the domain. It says write your answers as inequalities, okay, using X or Y as appropriate. Or you may click instead empty set or orioles, okay? So what you want to do is take a look and ask, what could X be? What could X be? In other words, if somebody said you could walk on the X-axis, how far could you walk and still be okay? In other words, I could keep walking here and I could keep hitting this function to infinity. It's going to keep going on to infinity. So I could keep walking forever. It doesn't matter. X can be anything. So it's going to be negative infinity is less than, how do they put this? I'm sorry. Wow. X is less than or equal to X is less than or equal to positive infinity. In other words, X is between positive infinity and negative infinity. And that's how you write it. Now, what can Y be? Always start at the bottom and look. You can climb up Y from infinity all the way up, but you have to stop at 1. So Y only goes from negative infinity. That's negative 8. Let's try doing that sideways. Negative infinity, and then less than or equal to 1, because that's as far as it went. So that's how you show it as inequalities. All right. Actually, I'm trying to think if I might going crazy. I might be going crazy, you all. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm not going crazy. All right. Next, let's try this again. Okay, so the vertex is at 2, negative 4. So what can X be? And you can see that X again doesn't matter. I can travel along the X, and no matter where I go, I can jump to a point for the Y. Nobody can tell me to stop. I can go anywhere. So again, X, it goes from negative infinity to positive infinity. Y, on the other hand, doesn't have any value until you start getting to right here at negative 4. Then it has a value. There's a negative 4. So Y goes from negative 4 to positive infinity because it can keep going up from there. It can keep going up forever. All right, next. Last one. I think this is the last one. Didn't I lock these all down? Geez. Okay. Maybe I locked it down with that little box there. I don't know. All right. It says here it is again, domain. Okay, again, a lot of times X, in fact, I think almost always, X is always going to be possible to be whatever. There's nothing like what you need to ask yourself, is somebody stopping me? Can I get to the graph from there? Okay. Yeah, you could. Even though it's not shown here, you can imagine that some point infinity, it might actually head over there. Nothing is stopping you. Okay, there's nothing in your way. Okay, so X is going to be negative infinity, less than or equal to X, less than or equal to positive infinity. Y, on the other hand, starts from negative infinity. We always come up, and it only reaches up to 2, and then it stops. So Y is from negative infinity, less than or equal to Y, less than or equal to 2. Okay, these are my favorite to do. If you were doing these in interval notation, it would be negative infinity, positive infinity, and it would be negative infinity, and then it would be bracket 2, because it can be equal to 2. And infinity always gets parentheses. All right, let me see if there's anything else. I love this. I keep clicking this and it just, let's try that. Okay, last one. Range of an equation. So this is a little bit more work, I think, in some ways, just because you have to actually find whether or not it's a max or a min. So again, look at the A, know that it goes like this, which means we're going to have a maximum, which means your range is going to come from the bottom and reach a max. Okay, so we already know that y, which is the range, is going to be from negative infinity to some value. All we need to do is find it. So again, it's going to be that h is equal to negative 18 over 2 times negative 3. It's negative 18 over negative 6, which is 3. And then you plug it back in, negative 3 times 3 squared minus 18 times 3 minus 26 equals negative 3 times 9 minus 50. 8 times 3 is 24. I think it's 54. Yeah. Minus 26 equals negative 27 minus 54 minus 26. That's interesting. I didn't screw up on science, did I? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. When you get some crazy big number, you kind of know sometimes that you screwed up. I did. I copied it incorrectly. Okay, one of my biggest faults is copying down the problem wrong. That's why I did my test twice. Okay, so 27 plus 26 is 53. Is that right? 53 plus 54 equals 1. 1. So y equals 1. So the highest it gets is 1. There you go. That's it. End of this video.